Hello everyone, and welcome to the cave that we didn't get, but the house that we did get, covered in the sandstone. And so, we're going to be reviewing everybody's favorite hut, of course Obi Wan's hut, although people probably want his cave now. Anyways, this is still decently relevant, even though it's from the original trilogy. But hey, I might as well review it since I don't think I've reviewed it before. But I could also be mistaken. I don't know, I'm just trying to get through some stuff. Anyways, this is rated for ages 7 and up, set 75270, Obi Wan's hut, of course, and with a flat 200 pieces, which is pretty good for a set that retailed for $30. Then again, you do also get 4 minifigures. I don't know why I waited on that, but you do get yourself Obi Wan Kenobi without his robes. You get Luke Skywalker without his poncho that he received in the land speeder, which is interesting. You do get R2-D2, you get a Tuscan Raider, and you get the holographic of Princess Leia, so that's pretty cool. And you get the fold-out look of the house, even with the top open. And then you got the Tuscan Raider lurking in the back for some reason, because the Tuscan Raider does not want to leave anybody alone. You also get some crates, get some stuff, but we'll get to that when we get into the physical model. Now the back of the box is pretty fun because we get to see Obi Wan Kenobi fighting off the Tuscan Raider, we get R2-D2 replaying that message once again, and we get Luke Skywalker fighting the training droid, which is really cool to get one of those in this set because very fun. We also get the spare lightsaber in a crate, which is very nice, along with that training droid, and the pieces for that training droid are scattered around in the set itself, which is very nice. And we also get the kitchen area, which supposedly is supposed to lead to something, but we still haven't gotten that. Maybe we get a cave expansion soon enough, included with DLC and bonus content. Coming never, because realistically there's no guarantee, but hey, we could get a cave expansion for the new Obi Wan stuff, which is already aired and fun. That was a good joke. But hey, let's see. Let's jump into the minifigures, shall we? So let's start with one of the more known minifigures. R2-D2, I've gone over this before. Pretty common character, you've seen him a lot. He does have a lot of good detailing, specifically in the blue regions, because, well, chrome dome, which is very nice to see from the old light gray. He does have some sensors there, plus his eye so that he can see, with some blue bars going around the top of the dome and also the sides. Very good. They have slightly varying prints depending on which R2-D2 you get, so it can be slightly off-center, but this one looks pretty good. Moving down, you do get his little pop-out arms over there, which for the longest time, when I saw my first R2-D2, I thought that was a weird way of writing out just Star Wars. You've got Star on the top, Wars on the bottom. Very interesting bit of trivia, but as I now know, those are just his arms. I don't know why I ever thought of that. Interesting bit of trivia. Moving down, you have a bit more of his mechanical bits there, so that you kind of have all the features that you might need from your astromech, from repair to scouting missions to opening doors. You've got it in this model. On the back, you don't got much, to say it lightly. You don't have any details on the legs either, but you get a little bit of sentry up at the top of the head and a little bit of the continuation of the blue, so you kind of get a rounded off feel, but unlike in the trash compactor set, this one isn't really too much to say. Now it's on to Obi Wan Kenobi, who doesn't have any leg detailing. Unfortunately, that's a pretty sore sight for this minifigure, as well as nothing for the arms, so it's pretty sad. He does still have some tan robing, and the robe itself, the torso print, has a lot of detail. You get his undershirt, which is like this darkish brown, which looks very good in combination with the tan. You've got a bit of shine, but also a bit of weariness on his belt, with a little bit of studding there to kind of show off that it is a used tool belt, and then he does do stuff with it. He does have a lot of wrinkles and kind of lines on his robe to kind of signify the use of it and kind of give it a more flowiness feel that this actually is clothing and that it's actually being worn by the minifigure, unlike just a piece that was just attached, which is very nice. He does have a classic blue lightsaber as always, nothing too special there, but he does have his older face. He's now a bit older of a minifigure instead of his younger self in like the Clone Wars or the prequel trilogy, so you do have that gray beard with some just aged facial featuring with some of those lines. He is a bit tired looking, but that comes with his age, through the eyes, which also look very good. And also his hair is pretty standard minifigure hair, nothing much to say about it, but it does work. For the character, it is dark gray, or light gray again, but it kind of just flows onto the back. Which has a nice little pocket on the back of the belt, a little bit of that flowiness, but not as much anymore, and also just the continuation of the hair. Which, let it be known, does not hide a secondary face. Although still the same minifigure, Luke Skywalker does have a bit more detailing, seeing as how there's a lot more of that like dark tan sandiness on his legs there, continuing into the bit of the flowiness of his like little overshirt, which does drip down a little bit over his legs there. So not far enough to his kneecaps, but a little bit over. So that's where you get that black line to kind of signify the little flowiness of his shirt. It is double layered, so it's crossed over, which you can see through the indentation of the lines, which make up a little bit of a Y, which is cool. You do get a front pocket smaller than Obi Wan's back pocket. A bit of camera motion there. But the belt buckle is a clean, shiny silver, which is pretty nice. And then he does have a bit of a blank expression with his little bit of blonde hair just kind of swooping down like an umbrella or a lampshade, depending on how you want to look at it. However, he is holding out with his 3 back pockets instead of Obi-Wan's 1, and that's pretty good. You know, extra storage, always handy. Now, he does have a little bit of flowiness on the back. However, underneath that lampshade of a head, or hair, I don't know what I'm going with at this point, but he does have a bit of more of a blank or angry expression. It's not too angry. He is not upset at anything, but he's definitely annoyed that there's a Tuscan Raider screaming in his backyard. Well, not his backyard, it's Obi-Wan's backyard. But anyways, it works. It's there. You've got yourself some diversity or flavor in the facial expressions, which is pretty good to have. Now, the Tuscan Raider has been screaming for the past half hour because they've really wanted to be in this video, so now they've got their chance, and oh boy do they have pockets. They've got a lot of pockets. They've got 4 going across their shoulder and 5 going across their belt, which is just an absurd amount of pockets. They do have that flowiness because they do have the Tuscan traditional outfit, which is like a robe hybrid, which can be easily seen in the Book of Boba Fett through those first few episodes, where you do have a lot of Tuscan Raider action. So probably don't have to go into too much detail about that, but there is a lot of flowiness there, and you can really feel the diversity of the clothing. I don't know if diversity is the good point, but you can really feel the depth of the clothing here. And the head, after they really remolded and added the special mold for the Tuscan Raiders, these guys look absolutely fantastic. The old Tuscan Raiders, still a very good classic. I remember them specifically from the Complete Saga, which is a fantastic game. But these redesigned heads, incredible, absolutely fantastic. You do have some of those spikes that come out of their head. You've got the goggles, which look really great, and you've also got the full depth of that mouth, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. But don't mind the staff, as the bottom of the staff does use a light gray piece instead of the dark gray piece, so a little bit of inaccuracy here in the review, but I could not find out that staff, so I just grabbed a staff, and realistically, it's the same staff. It's still got that pointy bit at the top, but yeah, now it's just a bit zoomed in on the teeth. But yeah, it's a really good figure. Let's move on to the... Which, as to be expected, doesn't have another face, but it does have a continuation of those spikes, so you get a few more spikes, and you get that continuation of that belt, which has far too many pockets for any normal person. However, for a Tuscan, they need all that storage. So you do get that belt, you do get that nice shiny buckle, and you do also get some continuation and fluff in the clothing, which is very nice to see. But let's move on to the set and the highlight. Or maybe some of the minifigures are. Who knows? Let's just move on to the set. Now it's time to end our free cam mode to get a little bit of extra flyby view of this set. Now, the outside itself is pretty nice. It's a little bit rounded off, but on the outside and front, it does have some square edges, which is quite alright. You do get a nice chimney, and you do get one crate outside. Let's see if it's got anything inside. Seems like it does. And you get yourself an extra pair of binoculars, which is pretty nice. On the back here, we do get a nice little vent and a window so that you can kind of see what's cooking. It looks like some green stuff, so probably don't want to touch that. And it looks like another chimney there. So a lot of chimneys, but you might say, how are we going to get inside? Well, there is a security panel. However, I'm just going to take that off, and it opens up right as rain. So let's get into some of the more inside details. And there's a lot to cover here. We do get a shelf with a bunch of stuff, with some skeleton legs, very interesting, a little bit of a droid. However, there are 3 pieces here. This one white stud, if I could get it off, it is really does not want to get off, but there we go. We want this piece as well. So there we go, we've got 2 of the parts, and then if we take this crate off, which has a bit of a stick on the side, so you've got some extra defense in case you don't want to use your lightsaber. And I know that there was a lightsaber in there, however, we gave that to our friend Luke Skywalker. Now it's time to assemble the little droid. Now with our droid fully assembled, we can just go ahead and place it on this tile, which comes from this crate. And we can take the big crate, put Luke Skywalker on there, and then we can have a little bit of extra mobility with these 2. You don't necessarily have to do this, nor is it intended. However, you've got the pieces, so might as well make use of them. And this guy right here is very nice, got a lot of detailing there on this one head print. If it'll focus, has a lot of places to shoot from, which is good, as you do want a lot of variability in your training. However, let's move on to the little kitchen living room area, which does have some nice seating that you can make use of. It does have a little bit of a fire over there, and it does have that correct stick in the back, which is very nice to see. You know, I did manage to get that in the video, which is very important. Of course, you do have some blue milk in a glass, however, it's not the blue milk that has the detailing, nor is it the regular milk, which I don't know if this is the same as the blue milk, but hey, extra addition of item in this video. But the last thing of interest here is going to be this Leia hologram, which is very good. You know, you've got the full Leia piece, even with the little dress there, which is great. You can't really see all the details here because it is all translucent blue, but you can definitely tell that it's a minifigure statue, and it looks very good. It's a very nice little inclusion here, and it kind of rounds out the set. It's a pretty small build, but if you're using anything or have anything related to Tatooine like I have over here in this little space, don't mind the limousine, and also the knight's carriage, and also that thing, also poster. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, but it fits in really nicely. It's a small little compact thing, but it looks very good and works with anything. If you have any interest in Tatooine, you know, you can just have this be another building for like a Tatooine city, and it goes well with the Mos Eisley Cantina if you have that. Or you just have Obi Wan's hut and you get yourself a Jedi training droid, which you might need for any old purposes, or you can just get it for another Tuscan Raider, which is always very nice. And R2-D2, because of course, who doesn't need a 15th R2-D2? But I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.